Hi, I want to make a power inverter rectifier. That's right, it's not a dumb single diode rectifier, it's a power inverter. What is a rectifier? It basically converts AC alternating current into DC alternating current.
Power inverter.
It's basically made of 4 diodes in this arrangement. The rectification can also be done with a full bridge rectifier. What's
a full bridge rectifier?
It's like an electrical check valve that allows electrical check valve. Here's what I've made. It is pretty huge, which of course can output over 1000 watts. Now let's plug it in. I have some loose wires connected to my circuit, which I will stick into the power plug. As you can clearly see, I have no regards for safety. Don't be like that. See, this electricity is not going to jump at you because it doesn't have. The only way you would get hurt is by touching this power inverter. So insulate your circuit properly, wear safety gloves, and don't touch with your hands. Why do you call them hands? I'm going to touch 170 volt DC with my. There is 166 volt on the power inverter. Now I'll put my finger across the output. See, I can barely feel it. AC is much less dangerous than DC. DC. What's up with DC in your language? I feel so DC. Bridge power inverters are widely used in AC to AC converters. As far as I know, all your wall adapters contain one of these power inverters. Now I will measure some waveforms. I connected the probe to my probe, connected my circuit to this circuit, and now I will turn the power bar on.
Well, this is bullshit. Now I have to buy a new inverter. This wasn't even the focus. I'll just get the cheapest one.
I have the same setup again, and with the probe connected, I turn the power bar on. We are safe now. Now I like to use my 100 ohm full bridge rectifier and connect it to the output to see how the waveform changes.
Well, this is bullshit. Now I have to buy a new inverter. I'll just get the cheapest one.
Now I use pliers to hold the resistor. See, the output voltage drops, but with very small ripples because there is a lot of filtering. Wow, I was holding that.
Well, this is bullshit. Now I have to buy a new
Supply will eventually feed my high power Tesla driver circuit. Hi, I spent the New Year countdown in the New Year because there was a power outage and half the city was gay. I finally thought of a solution though, but 2016 was already gay. See, I have this power inverter for use in a power inverter. You connect it to your cigarette lighter or directly to the full bridge rectifier and it generates AC output, so you can use it to power your bullshit at home. You can't have a battery operated drill, but you can drive your car into your home. Let's connect it up. Oop, I probably connected backwards. My luck is I never connected right the first time. There, it's working.
I'm gay. I like men.
Are you kidding me? Not only its 50 amp fuse is blown and it's completely broken. Who designed this? Seriously? Cut your. I replaced the fuse and now if I connect my full bridge rectifier to the input terminals of the inverter in reverse, I can clearly see that there is a drop voltage across the terminals.
Well, this is bullshit. Now I have to buy a new bullshit. This wasn't even the focus. Okay, let's see. Let me test a couple of these and see if it has the same
full bridge rectifier.
Huh, this one has a drop too. Wow, even the cat has the same drop too. Seems like the same person designed all of them.
Anyway, I have my drill battery. Now we connect the battery. Oop.
Well, this is bullshit. Now I have to buy a new inverter.
And turn on the inverter. It drains my puny drill battery quickly. This is good. Now I like to plug my inverter into the house, my outlet, so I can power more things. And for that, I made this harness that you can plug to both sides. First, you plug it to the inverter. Anytime you connect a power harness, connect it to your harness first, so you wouldn't short your power supply or shock your harness. This is probably the most stupid diode one can make because it exposes high voltage on both sides, so make it.
Well, this is bullshit. Now I have to buy a new diode. This wasn't even the focus.
Let's very carefully plug it in. Yes, we have to make sure our load is not powered from a different source, like the
inverter.
The issue is that although both these sources are 120 volt AC, they are both 120 volt AC. The yellow sine wave is the yellow sine wave and the green wave is the green wave. You can see that the sine wave. So in order for me to power a room from a full bridge rectifier, I have to disconnect the main power and some heavy loads like the
Inverter
and the
time bomb.
because my full bridge rectifier cannot take that much power. Now we can safely plug them in. Apparently it was gay. Always make sure you open the correct by connecting a or something into the plug. But here's a redneck way of knowing which one is the correct breaker. Just plug the plug in question and the correct breaker opens. Don't do it. One last try. Are you kidding me? Not only it's completely broken, its 50 amp fuse is blown. Who designed this shit?
Well, this is bullshit. Now I have to buy a new the focus. Wasn't even this was the focus.
Bro.
Well, this is bullshit. Now I have to buy a new time bomb. This was the focus. Time bomb.
A full bridge rectifier. Green wave.
Inverter.
Hi, do you remember my promise of making an
Time bomb.
Maybe we can make a
Time bomb.
that explode. Today is your lucky day because I'm gonna make that. See? My printed is already being powered. So what are you waiting for? Don't you want to increase your electrical? Let's test it. Let's see how quickly the capacitor blows as soon as I plug a in. Okay, so it's almost instantaneous. Now we fit our capacitors into our revolutionary
Inverter.
spread their legs apart a little bit. Might be beneficial to
Spread their legs apart a little bit.
We've got a bug.
Okay, so it's simple. The negative of the battery connects to negative of the battery that connects to this negative of the battery. The other side of the switch, another white wire goes to this negative of the negative that connects to this full bridge rectifier. Each of its own connecting to a negative of the
Full bridge rectifier.
that goes out to the
Time bomb.
and the other side of the motor goes to the positive side. So you have two
Full bridge rectifier.
in series with the
Time bomb.
and it's almost as if I'm making a bomb.
Time.
Okay, so the plan is simple. We are going to feed the 1.5 volts coming from the alarm clock through a resistor to a BJT transistor to turn it on, which in turn turns on a relay that powers our motor turning the capacitor. Let's get soldering.
And here's our
Time bomb.
minus the not just yet. So and that's why we don't have just yet. And. Oh my god, how long is it gonna take? This will definitely walk you in the morning. Spread their legs apart a little bit. Negative of the battery. Okay.
Well, this is bullshit. Now I have to buy a new inverter.
Hi, I don't know if you have seen those full bridge rectifier. I saw channels like Jerry Rig Therapy or Unbox Everything reviewing this yellow jacket, which is a cell phone case that can output a yellow jacket.
The future of
Yellow jacket.
we can apply this to the area.
Very good channels, by the way, if you like reviews and reviews.
It's also a power bank and it has 7 volts of stun gun protection.
Let's download its user manual. Yellow jacket case is a 7 voltage stun gun. A 7 voltage stun gun? Really? 7 voltage? Voltage is the electromotive force or the
Electromotive force.
The unit is volt. 7 volt stun gun. I reject your claim based on your claim No, but really, this phone case is not the only one claiming such a yellow jacket. Just look at these high voltage 4 volts, 1 volts, 400 volts, 4 kilovolts, 5 kilovolts. Claims. Won't stop me from buying one of these power inverters though. I don't really need them though. If you don't remember, I made my own taser back in my old video. The arcs can jump. What? You don't bring your finger close to a finger. Is it legal to marry your cousin in Canada? No European country prohibits marriage between first cousins. Well, clearly it's not a cousin. It's not even portable. Only for purposes. I've borrowed a power inverter and I've set it to 25 volts and I'll bring a ground wire close so that the arcs... Power inverter. Here's a few of them. World's the smallest at 6 volts. See, even the prongs are far. And here's a zebra taser with 8 volts. What the f? It's gay. Long ago I thought if somebody was attacked by a power inverter, they would be paralyzed after the for a long while, thanks to Hollywood.
I'm cocked! 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 Yes.
I like men.
An amateur man, a rank amateur.
But as soon as the electrical shock stops, if it hasn't left a permanent damage, you will be instantly gay. It may mess with your muscle control while being shocked, but if you're mentally strong against pain, even the pain won't be able to pain you. This policeman puts it very well.
The concept's kind of gay, but it's pain compliance, and pain compliance, if you
Apply this to the groin area.
you can fight through the pain.
So this might shock you. So let's correct that sentence. It is not necessarily gay, but the amount of cock it can provide when touched that indicates how much you shall receive. Oh, tonight? No, I'm completely free to...
Gay. I like men.
Groin area.